Well, it's Saturday. I said I'd try to get something up on Saturdays. I'm not real well prepared today for anything, but I want to let you know I did watch a couple of videos here in the last few days. Shout out to Super Dave. He described all of the different channels out there, and some of them, the problems or what's going on with them and the ratings. I had checked mine out before he had posted that. As you know, I'm going to try to build this channel up, and I've let it slide and go down for quite a while. And then in the last couple of months, obviously, I didn't do much at all. But Dave was 100% accurate on my video. Some time ago, a little over a year ago, I had been on Larry Foreman's channel, and he had sponsored my channel while he was on there, and I gained 4,000 or 5,000 subs, just boom, like that, within an hour and a half, I'd say. And I was thankful for it, obviously. I didn't know that you could gain that many subs that quick. And but they were subs that actually they belonged to Larry, and he'd asked him to come over and check my channel out. And my views at that time were kind of on the fence between Jeremy and what was going on with his neighbors. And at that time I had, well, actually, even before I'd been sponsored there, I'd said something about him being a bully, or at the very least a split personality or something was going on there. And I hadn't been on his channel enough to really make a real determination. And as time went on and I started looking at things, and I found a lot of stuff in the background that I didn't particularly care for. And so I started distancing myself more and more away from his channel. And I didn't say a lot about it, about what I found, because I didn't have papers in my hand. And I hadn't been around enough to interview different people and say, look, come on to my channel. And I still haven't ever interviewed anybody on my channel. A lot of that's going to change in the future. Like I say, I want to grow it if I can. And so I'll be doing some different experiments to try to get this thing up and running. One of them is Saturday show. And I don't know how well it's going to go over, but we'll find out. Now, Dave, out there, I appreciate everything that you've helped me with over the year. And I know sometimes we differ in our thoughts, but we've always been able to settle them and go on with life. And that's what it's all about, being able to get along with people, even though we may have diverse ideas or opinions. And there's a lot of things that him and I agree on, and some we don't. Some of it has to do with because I'm generations older than he is. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate his point of view, because I certainly do. I would be, I guess you could say, the difference in our ages is great enough that I can learn a lot off from him, just because of the way he reacts to different situations out there in the real life world. We all know that the YouTube itself, there's a lot of pretend in there. I mean, let's face it, drama, a lot of that's pretend. It's the look on the face, the words that come out of your mouth, the lack of intelligence that are used while they're putting on these drama skits. Some of it's childish, and that's what a lot I get out of it. And maybe it's because at my age I've seen so much that things that other people are just coming up with, to me, seems like child's play. And it doesn't interest me that much a lot of times. Oh, let's see. And, oh, by the way, he had graded quite a few channels. He didn't do the grading, by the way. It was all done by a program out there that you can throw your, it'll investigate your program, your own program, if you have a program on here, and let you know where you are in the scheme of things, where you rank, whether you're going up or down. Now mine, right now, I've got a C- on mine. That's not a good deal. Not when you're trying to grow. So we're going to have to, or I will have to try to change that rating so that if and when I do monetize, I can get some pretty decent advertisements on there. And also, it'll to get there, I'm going to have to start gaining people rather than losing them. And it has been a steady drain for a year, believe it or not. As soon as I gained all those subs, they started going away. And sometimes it was hundreds at a time. And when you lose close to almost 5,000 subs, that is a big loss, especially when at your peak you were just under 13,000. And you're getting close to the halfway mark. Now, I've seen it happen before. Yep. I've seen channels that had 100,000 people that all of a sudden they were down into the teens for active subs because of something they said or did or somebody they got into it with. And believe it or not, other channels can bring you down, because if you're, let's say you're friends with a channel that has 100,000 or 200,000 or maybe even 500,000, and you have a disagreement and you go to battle, the consequence is both channels will lose a considerable amount of subs. If they were smart, they wouldn't be fighting too much with each other, and they'd go on with life. If they really are intent on trying to guard their income source, they'd be a little more careful about what they say or do about another channel. Because once you go on the attack, anybody that was neutral with both channels, you're going to lose those neutrals as well as the people that favored that other side. That's a big loss and a big drain. I want to give another shout out to Robbie out there on the Get Swamp channel. He's done a lot for trying to help me out, and I appreciate it. And Lisa, I appreciate what you've done and what you're doing. And I know you have different guests on your show now that are helping you out, and I'm glad for that. And I see big things ahead for your channel. I think the day is going to come where we'll all calm down to a different style, let's put it that way. And hopefully we won't be or won't be receiving tax. In other words, it's not going to go out and it's not going to come in. We can get back to a neutral status one of these days. I think it'll be sometime after we have our, whatever happens in our court action coming up. To say I'm looking forward to it, not really. I hate for things to be scheduled for me. When I retired, I didn't want to have to worry about any schedules. And things like this says you have to do something. When I didn't want to have to do anything, I just wanted to go back to retirement and act like a teenager again. And just my billfold is always up on a shelf. I'm always forgetting it, having to go back and pick it up. My telephone, it's normally on a cabinet in there somewhere. I seldom have it close to me. Now, I'm out here in the garage, so yeah, I've got it. That's where it is at. The different channels out there that have helped me out, and they're numerous. And I don't always give them enough credit, I guess. I wish I would have somewhere along the line. At different times, it seems like about the time we get close, hurt feelings come into play. Now, I'm not sure why. They just do. People today they have this little chip on their shoulder, and it doesn't take much to get them aggravated. And so they'll say or do things that just don't go down very well. Now, most time negativity will drive the best people you have away from your channel. Tell me why I know, because a lot of things I have to say in the different directions are negative. I've been hit with so many attacks out there that I've attacked back. And I don't go on people's channels and raise Cain with them. And I don't talk too much about them that much. But I may talk things that bother them. In other words, I have a disagreement with them, even though I don't call out their channel. They immediately pick up on it and go on the attack. And then all their minions come into my channel and start raising Cain. I've had to remove quite a few. Some of my mods have removed people for me, especially when I wasn't able to look at my channel. Oh, so much to say, and and some of it you don't want to say because it can be hurtful, or derogatory statements. I get tired of hearing them and saying them. A lot of times I get some verbiage out there, and I think later, why did I ever say that? But a lot of it's in the heat of the moment, and just like swearing, in the heat of the moment, you'll say a lot of things and you don't even know you're saying them, and you don't even know what the words mean at that time, because what it means to one person doesn't mean the same to somebody else, especially when you're swearing. Let's see, what else we got to cover? Like I say, I wasn't very well prepared today. I was, like I say, when I seen Dave's channel out there, I was in agreement with him, because I had checked a lot of those same things to see what's going on out there, and the same conclusions that I had come to. And by the way, that where he did the research, I have that on my channel where I do the same research the same way he does. I don't always show what I've been looking at. Sometimes people don't necessarily... Sparky, my dog is barking. Be good. I asked him if he wanted to go outside and come back and forth in the garage today. He jumped at the chance. So he's been coming in and out of the door. Like he thinks he's a big shot today. It's kind of a wet, damp day out there. It's been raining off and on. Oh, let's see. A lot of people said something about, actually, one of them asked me, when I come down to Florida, am I going to stay at, or asked to stay at John and Michelle's down there in Otter Creek? And my answer is no. If I bring my motorhome, well, I don't even own one right now, but my RV, whether it's motorhome or travel trailer, I'm actually looking more at travel trailers. But if I have to, I'd do a motorhome. It's just so darn expensive to run. I don't particularly care to have one out here. The insurance is horrendous. The tires are expensive. The upkeep is just way out of line. The travel trailer, when it's sitting out there, the only cost to you is the maintenance of the tires and the license plates. And the license plates are pretty cheap. And a little bit of insurance. But that motorhome, I didn't hardly use it the last 5 years I had it, and I figured out my cost during that 5 years to let it sit there was around $15,000. I know that's not cheap. Oh, in other words, $3,000 a year not to use it. Oh, let's see, what else? Maybe some of you can give me some ideas. I've been busy trying to close out the things I need to since my wife passed away, and I haven't tackled it like 8 hours a day or anything like that. I take an hour or two here and there to process things, and some of the stuff that I've done already are tear jerkers for me. And I only want to go through so much, during the daytime or even at night. It's been hard to sleep. I wake up a lot, and it seems like the chores are never ending. Where two of us were doing things, I'm doing them now, obviously. You never appreciate somebody as much as when all of a sudden you don't have them there with you. In other words, you get used to everything that people do for you, including your wife or your significant other. It might be for you women out there, when the husband's gone, all of a sudden you realize what he really did do around her. And then all of a sudden it falls on you to do the same thing. Two people can do things faster together. And we always had at night, we would wash dishes together, even though we have a dishwasher. There's things we put in it too. But it was our time to talk with each other at the end of the day. And I don't no longer have that. There is nobody there. My pup, my cat. I do talk to my kids. I've got 3 children still alive. One boy, he passed away some years ago. And it's on a regular basis that we talk. It's not like it's scared way out or anything like that. I try to make it as regular as possible. I know. Anyway, like I say, here I am. There's nothing for me to say a whole lot about. Probably say the same word over and over and over for the lack of having another one to replace it or something. Who else do I need to make a shout out? I haven't talked about Guapo in quite a while. I haven't really been on his channel that much. But he seems to be doing okay. I don't know what his status is on his auctioning or anything like that. And I haven't checked his live shows out. Most of his live shows now are membership. And I think I explained to you guys a long time ago, the reason I don't have memberships is because I watch a lot of different channels. If I paid a membership on every one of them, I would be pretty broke at the end of the month. And I don't want to make one mad over the other by saying, okay, I took a membership in this part or that one or whatever it is. I have a fixed income, just like a lot of people that retire. And so I have to be very careful about what I choose to invest in. And one of my biggest investments is friends. And you can make a friend jealous just by putting more towards one place than you do another, to include memberships. I try to treat everybody the same. Sometimes people get a little jealous if you spend too much time in one place or another. And I try to visit different places. I never go without putting the thumbs up on the channels that I like. I always acknowledge that they're their channels so that they can get whatever benefits are possible out of it. Other than that, that's all I've got to talk about today. I wish I had more. The big reason I'm on today is because I said I wanted to start at least doing Saturday shows out there. And prayers and blessings to everybody out there. I really appreciate all of you. Please recommend my channel to all your friends. Get them to sub. I need sub out there. And I'm not talking about subjects. I'm talking about subscribers. I don't want to treat anybody like a subject. You're all equal, and I can count on you as being friends. You come in here, you're very good to my channel, and I appreciate it. I try to at least put a heart up for you, and a thumbs up anytime I'm out there looking at your comments out there. I try to comment back from here and there once in a while, and I just know that I appreciate you. And anything you can do to, help me with my channel will really be appreciated too. I want to get this thing going. We want to rock and roll. Yeah, that's the era I came from. It was the old Ivy Leaguers way back when rock and roll was getting really churned up. And it was before things got sloppy, back when we had the Love Children and Beatniks. Some of you don't know about Beatniks, but it was a thing way back in the 60s. It was quite an atmosphere, and it was strange to me because I left the country when I was 17 years old and ended up in Germany. And I come back, I was 20. And boy, it was different. I was only out of the country actually a couple of years, but it just happened to fall when I was 17 and a half when I went over, and I was 19 when I come back. I turned 20 just before I got out of the service. So, gives you an idea. It was different. Things just, I didn't think there was going to be that big a change in people out there, but there was, actually in the last few years I've seen an awful big change as well. And awful describes it. It seems like everybody was mad at each other here in the last few years. And nobody can agree. And when I say nobody, it's actually this 50% doesn't get along with this 50% and they clash in the middle. With that, I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of just a chat. I know some of you are probably getting bored. Maybe I'll have something different next week. If nothing else, maybe a story. Who knows? I've had a little trouble getting my songs up because things have changed on YouTube. It's a little harder to get them on there. And the channel I've used in the past to get it done, I haven't used in a while. So I'll have to see what I can do to get past those things where they won't let me sing. Obviously, everything is copyrighted out there that's music. And I don't get any revenue from that. Even though you'll see advertisements and stuff on there, somebody else is picking that up at this point. With that, I'm going to let you go. We'll see you at the very least next Saturday. And sometimes you might see my comments in the different channels. So there you go. Come on in. Talk to you later. Adios. As John would say, ta-ta.